Good morning and welcome to Morning Java, brought to you by, as always, our friends at Get Go Cafe and Market, where you can now get 2 breakfast croissants for $6, Carter.
Or you can go old school and get that breakfast combo for $3.99, hash brown, small coffee, and your choice of breakfast sandwich.
Let's talk a little bit of football because Carter's here. It's what we do.
I'm ready for this, man.
It comes with the obligatory Carter grunt. The Steelers, the least sexy possible position battle that you could have on a 53-man roster would be punter. Other than maybe although this is the team that did have a long snapper duel.
They did.
A year ago.
Yeah.
So, but do you buy into this? That Jordan Berry's job is up for grabs?
I don't think so. I think that Jordan Berry did well enough in past seasons that they want to challenge him. They want to say, hey, we want you to do better. And who knows? If this guy comes in, it's not like punter is going to ruin the chemistry of the team. So for all we know, it could be a thing. All in all, as long as the guy that's punting the ball can get the ball at least 40 yards consistently, that's
okay,
what
but
they
there's
want.
a catch here, and that is that Weil can also do kickoffs and back you up on PATs.
That would be
if
big.
something happens to your kicker.
Boswell.
Which leads me to my broader question, which is that why aren't more teams thinking of this?
Well, I think it's a
valuable thing, a roster spot.
It's a valuable thing, but there's so many players that can't do both, and it's such a bizarre thing.
Like all of them.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. Like you would think, like in high school, you see a lot of guys just come off the soccer team, they're kicker and punter. But when you get to the professional level and you see all the different things that go into it, there's a lot of torquing and angling and things that you have to work on to be so consistent to be good on either job. It's tough to it's like getting a pitcher.
I want to be clear, when I say roster spot, I don't mean that you'd obviously have a combo punter kicker.
No.
I mean that it's another way to keep somebody around who can do multiple jobs.
Exactly.
He has greater value.
So if one person goes down, the other is supported. I do agree that would make sense. It's just that's a very rare thing.
What have you seen of Wild? Do you like him?
I mean, he's okay. To me, I don't go and punt and watch special teams and say, man, that punter, unless he's booming
Special teams are beneath Carter.
Yeah.
The Steelers are playing Carolina in the obligatory and annual between these two teams, completely meaningless preseason game. Is there anything to look for?
I mean, if you want to watch roster battles, sure. Look to see which receivers try to make plays. Damone Patterson, if you remember, had a huge start to the season.
Sure.
Great training camp, blew up against the Eagles, but he really didn't do much in this last game against the Titans, and that was kind of a step back. And now you have a situation, the Steelers with their trade to get Ryan Switzer, not so sure if him and Marcus Tucker are going to have as much of a place on the team now.
Because Switzer, in addition to being the return man, can also be and has been
a slot guy,
and that's something that. In this case, he'd be a backup slot guy, but he's a backup slot guy that they really don't have if Tucker isn't that guy, and that's a variable in there. I'd say that on the defensive side of the ball, more than anybody else, I'm looking at your guy, Matthew Thomas.
He's been making a big
who
move.
Really does have to. He has to make the team.
Yeah,
I
think he's already made the team.
Yeah, I don't think that's iffy at this point. But there are other things to watch.
Of course.
Particularly, I think, at outside linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be showing their play cards.
No.
But at the same time, you do want to see continued pressure. You want to see, depending on how much he gets out there, Bud Dupree. Let's start seeing some semblance of an attack up front.
Mm-hmm. And you saw a little bit of that. They had 6 sacks against the Titans, but you want to see more of it. And you also want to see a consistent basis. What you see out of Ola Adini, number 92, that's come in, he's really good.
Everybody loves him in Latrobe.
Because he engages well. When he gets his hands on somebody, he's going to win those hand battles. He just has to finish plays more and get tackles. He's missed the most tackles out of all the young players.
Main roster battle on defense that might play out Thursday night?
Jordan Dangerfield versus Marcus Allen. Dangerfield's been a guy that they've liked because he's been communicating in the past year.
They really like Dangerfield a lot.
But the problem is Marcus Allen is coming in strong. He's a 5th-round draft pick and a rookie. Not sure if they're going to want to give him up.
And a pick.
And he got the pick. Look, technically he should have. In a real
game,
you bat it down
because
you get the 5. Go take it back to the 5, man.
It's so easy when you're watching TV to say, knock it down,
absolutely.
Knock it down.
He needed to grab it because that was his pick.
You're conditioned as a defensive back that the interception is everything.
Ball's coming, it's mine.
You're not going,
Plus, he's a rookie. I give him the benefit of the doubt. Plus, he high pointed the ball very well.
He really did. He got up there,
and he only had like one interception in all of his collegiate career. So that had to be huge for Marcus Allen. I think he's going to get the edge over Dangerfield because he's younger. He hits really hard. He can be the extra linebacker sort of guy in the future.
Big interception for the guy. All you want to do is bury him for not knocking it down. Give me a break. Once this preseason game is over, the biggest development that's going to come next for the Steelers after, of course, cuts on Saturday will be Le'Veon showing up.
Yeah, definitely got to be Le'Veon.
What's to be expected of him? We saw it last year. Mike Tomlin didn't appreciate all of the questions last year, you recall, whenever Le'Veon was getting like 2 inches in a cloud of dust in Cleveland. But we did see that he gradually got better, so it did have an impact on him last year.
It certainly did, and one thing also to remember is that last year they went up against 3 really tough defensive fronts in those first 3 games. That's not going to get
including Cleveland at the time,
and they're even better this year because Myles Garrett is going to be there.
Better.
And that's the thing that I'm looking at. But you also got to see James Conner. He's getting a boost of confidence from his quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. He says, we like what he said. He wants him to be included in that opening day rotation. It's going to be tough to see how do the Steelers balance that because at the same time you want to get it to your ultimate weapon, your X factor in Le'Veon Bell. But you saw what happened last year. How they balance that, I'm not quite sure.
Have you seen anything from Jalen Samuels at all?
Oh yeah, he has really good.
You
burst.
like everybody.
I don't like
Carter.
everybody. I have certain people that I give skulls on my war room all pretty consistently.
He does give skulls.
But at the same time, Jalen Samuels is young. He catches the ball well. He had a really good 18-yard cutback in this last game. I think he just needs to get holes in front of him. He's suffering from the Rashard Mendenhall factor when he didn't have holes to run through, and everyone said, "Oh, that guy's horrible." Like, no, he needs space, and that's what Jalen Samuels needs. I think honestly, he's going to be your last back because I think he's young. Ridley's been hurt, and I think they're going to bounce him out and keep Samuels.
We'll see. I wonder, other than Le'Veon, how much running backs are going to matter at all. Ben can lobby for what he wants, but ultimately this is a team that's going to be built on multiple receiver/tight end sets. Setting this one right in the Carter wheelhouse.
Let's get that out of here. What you got?
That was really good. Forget the preseason, certainly anything at all related to the last preseason game. Take everything that you've seen from Latrobe, from the preseason, and tell me what the Steelers' defensive formation will look like. Actually, not even Cleveland, because the Browns are just another preseason game.
Don't say that. I would not say that.
Just did.
I didn't say he did, y'all.
Oh, no, yeah, 1-31 in the last 2 seasons. What does it look like the first time they play a real NFL team?
It's going to be all over the place. The opening series, I think you're going to see a 3-4 look. You're going to the opening like few plays, but you saw a lot of this against. I think what you saw against the Titans, you're going to see a lot of during the season. On the early downs, you're going to see John Bostic, Vince Williams, Watt when he's healthy, and Dupree. Although Watt is back in the lineup.
Standard Dick LeBeau 3-4.
You're going to see that to start. Unless they spread them out. Now, if they come out, if they get a good stop on second down and it's second and long, that's when you're going to start seeing maybe Vince Williams is just going to be a pass rusher. Maybe they bump off Bud Dupree or T.J. Watt and bring in an extra cornerback or something. Or they take out Javon Hargrave and then they bring in the slot man or the extra safety. I think it's going to all be predicated. They want to win on first down, make sure that the run isn't killing them, stop those types of plays, make it so it's second and third and long consistently, and that's when you start seeing those 3-3-5, those 4-2-5s looks,
yeah,
but where you see more DBs.
Carter, you know what's concerning to me out of all this?
What's up?
Is that I don't think of this defense, especially without Ryan Shazier, as being the most cerebral group. That's not. They have their share of cerebral players, but I don't think of it as some collectively brilliant, adaptable, flexible, multi-formational defense. And I wonder if there isn't such a thing as too much.
There could be.
You see what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Then you get away from instinctual football.
Right.
That worries me.
And that's a reasonable concern because some might say what started to happen in that Jaguars playoff game when they were coming from all over the place and they're like, wait a second, I'm supposed to be here.
And over the simplest possible thing, which was the Jaguars going to play action.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is that they can't cross the wires. But I think that's what they've been working at really hard all preseason and training camp. I've been seeing a lot of communicating, and I really like how they're putting in Davis, Burnett, and Edmonds, and those are going to be the 3 guys you want to see communicating. I think that it's going to be like Vince Williams. He knows how to talk. John Bostic, he knows how to talk. Now, he's still integrating into the system, but when I see him, he's the guy that's bumping the linemen to the right spots.
There's just a part of me that I see, for example, that 3-1-7, if you will, and of course the 7 being the DBs, and Vince being the lone linebacker out there. And I could just see a situation where even though, again, we saw them do it in Latrobe, they're still practicing it, that Vince would look over his shoulders, some other, 2 young guys are going to be out there, a Cam Sutton and whoever. And Cam Sutton, by the way, is part of the on the positive end of the cerebral group. As you look around and you go, what are we supposed to be doing here? I mean, it's not instinctual. You're not lining up and thinking to myself, I have to. It's a brute force game at its core.
And that's the thing
I don't want to see the Steelers defense lose the athletic edge that maybe they're developing by adding these guys by having so many formations. That's what I'm saying.
I totally understand that, but that's where the NFL is going now, is that more and more teams are going with faster players, getting more people on the field because you want to keep people fresh. It's part of the adaptation. We'll see how far up the ladder they have to climb to get there.